All right, today we're going to talk about central idea. Central idea is the most important or central thought. So, what is central idea? Well, central idea is the topic plus the point is the central idea. So, the topic, what is the text mostly about? The point, what is the author? What is the point that the author is trying to make about that topic? So, let's say we're reading a text about the Constitution, right? What that would be the topic. The Constitution is the topic. The point the author is trying to make might be that the Constitution was established for our country to have freedom. That would be the point that the author is trying to make. So let's do some practice with central idea. So let's look at this passage. Let's read together. Ready? Everybody ready? Here we go. Full of life. There are a total of 19 islands in the Galapagos Islands. They are located in the Pacific Ocean, about 1,000 kilometers west of Ecuador. The Galapagos are rocky and dry. This creates a harsh environment or surrounding. Still, the islands support life. Thousands of different kinds of animals live here. In fact, some of these animals aren't found anywhere else on Earth. Every animal on the Galapagos has adapted to its special environment. For example, the marine iguana dives into the water to get food. It's the only type of lizard that does this. The cormorant is a bird that can't fly. However, it has webbed feet and its small wings act like flippers so it can swim underwater for food. There are many other kinds of birds on the islands. Penguins and finches are the most common. The islands are home to 13 types of finches. Each type has a different food source. This allows all the finches to eat without having to compete with each other for food. So, what is the central idea of this passage? Well, let's first look at what is the topic. So, the topic is if we go through the text and we look, we can see that the author keeps referring back to the Galapagos. So, the Galapagos would be our topic. So, the topic is the Galapagos. All right. Our next step is to figure out what is the point that the author is trying to make about the Galapagos. Well, again, if we look back in the text, we can see that the author keeps referring to animals. They talk about animals, 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 and then marine iguana, the different types of birds, penguins, and finches. So we can determine that the point that the author is trying to make is that there are many animals in the Galapagos Islands. Okay. But again, Galapagos is going to be our topic, but there are many animals. Okay. So let's go again. What is the central idea of the passage? Well, our topic is Galapagos. The point that the author is trying to make is that there are many animals. So which one of the choices would that be? A, animals of the Galapagos do not compete for food. B, most reptiles on the Galapagos are large. C, the Galapagos are far away from most places. Or D, the Galapagos are home to many animals. If you pick D because it has the Galapagos as the topic and many animals as the point, you are correct. All right, now it is your turn to practice. So pause the video, read the text. This text will be used for question number 1 and question number 2. Again, think, what is the central idea of this text? What is the topic plus the point? What topic is the author trying to make in this text? And what is the point that the author is making? All right, question number 2. What is the central idea of the second paragraph? So again, the same text, pause the video, look at the different choices, look at what is the topic. Then look at what the point that the author is trying to make. And those two together will make the central idea. All right, here is another text, question number 3. Again, pause the video, read the text, answer the question. What is the central idea of the first paragraph? So again, look for that topic that the author is talking about in that first paragraph and the point that the author is making in that first paragraph. Topic plus the point is the central idea. All right. Now let's look at question number 4. Again, same text from question number 3. Pause the video and look at what is the central idea of the second paragraph. Again, think topic plus the point is the central idea. Here is the answer key if you answered these following questions in this order. So it should have been number 1, B, 2, B, 3, B, and 4 was C. If you answered that in that order, you are on track to figure out central idea. Again, central idea is topic plus the point is the central idea. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and I have resources on Kahoot and Teachers Pay Teachers.